Start of fall semester is always a good time for a party, for a welcome, and for getting together. And today, we wanted to initiate that tradition, but we had a little surprise up our sleeve, I have to admit. We just learned less than 2 hours ago that the Board of Trustees of our university has named Robert Morris's 8th president, Dr. Christopher B. Howard. You're going to meet Dr. Howard and his wife in a moment, but I want to introduce the people who are responsible for the search that led to this wonderful result. Chair of our board, Gary Klaus, and Vice Chair, Chair-elect, and Chair of the Search Committee, Rich Harshman. Mr. Klaus, Mr. Harshman.
So we realize that Rich and I are standing between you and you're hearing the new president. You didn't come out here to hear us. You came because we falsely invited you to a mixer. Well, it is a mixer, but it's a mixer on a day that we're going to celebrate the beginning of the future for Robert Morris University, and we couldn't be more excited about today. So let me just take a few moments to thank some of the people that made this possible. Dr. Jamison said that it was Mr. Harshman and myself, and we'll take some small credit, but I will take a little bit more credit for naming Rich as chair of our search committee, the presidential search committee that began this process last January, which culminated in today's vote by the Board of Trustees. My mother told me, if you can't be pretty, you should be smart. And I was smart enough to pick Rich as the chair of that committee, and his committee did just an outstanding job. I want to thank all of the members of that committee for their tremendous work. The other smart thing that the Board of Trustees did about 4 months, or I guess it's now 5 months ago, was to recognize that we needed someone to bridge the gap between Dr. Delamo, who we all love, and Dr. Howard, who we will soon love much more, I'm sure. But that gap was very large, and the university doesn't stand still. We didn't have more than one choice, and his name was Dr. David Jamison, and he has done an absolutely outstanding job in leading the university thus far, and will continue to do so until Dr. Howard takes over in February of next year. So please join me in thanking Dr. David Jamison. I also want to thank the University Advisory Committee, which was a group of alumni, students, faculty, members of the Dean's Council, members of the Cabinet, really a cross-section of the university community who had a very important role in helping us to structure the criteria that we needed in the next president of Robert Morris University. They did a superb job as well, so please join me in thanking them for their outstanding efforts. I mentioned Dr. Jamison, and he will be quick to say that it wasn't just me alone that's leading this organization, and it's the Dean's Council and the Cabinet that reports to the President that is responsible for making sure that things run smoothly. This is like a train that has to stay on the track, and there are a lot of engineers that make sure that it stays that way. So thank you to the Cabinet and to the Dean's Council for their work. But most of all, and this is the last thank you I have, it's because of all of you that make Robert Morris such a special place, that Robert Morris remains a very strong and vital place, successful and meaningful in this world. In addition to the stellar qualities that Dr. Howard has, in addition to his outstanding academic accomplishments and credentials, we see in him many of the same characteristics and qualities that we see in you and, dare I say, in Rich and myself in terms and other alumni. Hard work, the commitment to excellence, many from humble beginnings but with the potential to become truly great. I'm still working on my potential. My mother's not disappointed yet, but she's given me a little bit more time. I'm absolutely confident that under his leadership, Robert Morris will see to the highest possible heights. So that's all I really have to say, other than to ask you one final time to please give a great colonial country welcome for the 8th president of Robert Morris University, Dr. Christopher B. Howard, and his wife, Barbara.
I have landed on the moon. No, I've landed in moon. I'm very excited to be here. My wife and I are absolutely delighted to be here, to be a part of a special community that has made history today. They have selected someone who looks like me, someone who grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. But I can be reformed. I can be reformed, I promise you. But in all seriousness, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for welcoming me to Dave Jamison's disco dance party. I'm delighted, Dr. Dave, that you're able to do this. I'm really honored and humbled to serve as the 8th president of such a fine university. I want to, you'll find out I'm a Southern Baptist, so we say thank you and amen a lot, so I apologize in advance. I want to thank the guy with the second best haircut here, Gary Klaus, my boss. I want to thank my new boss, Rich Harshman, for doing a great job in the search committee. Not because you chose me, but because y'all were all so doggone professional, and all the people that were part of this process. I also want to thank my real boss, the woman behind here, and I want to introduce her the way the President of the United States often introduces his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my wife, Barbara Howard, from Johannesburg, South Africa. So she's from the real South. She does everything that I do better than I do, backwards and in heels. So ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Howard. One more comment about my new friend, Dr. Jamison, who's been such a professional throughout. I thought he was impressive, but I found out last night it's not really him, it's his wife. Sue Jamison from the sociology department. Sue, thank you so much for dinner last night and being such a wonderful part of the community. Adjunct faculty, alumni, friends, coaches, students, parents, the town. We are RMU. We get it done together. That's what Gary Klaus said, and he got it right. And so I wanted to make sure I pointed out the various parts of the community that do so much. Now, I want to be brief, I want to be bright, I want to be gone. My job is to keep my big foot out of my big mouth. There's much work to be done and many more conversations. But let me just say a few more words about higher education, about RMU, and then I'm going to get off the stage. I think that in the future, it is those institutions of higher education that are truly committed to providing the foundational tools of critical thinking, written and oral communication, and a deep understanding of the world we live in, coupled with the opportunity to delve deeply into the professions that are poised for success. RMU, ladies and gentlemen, as you know better than I do, is an all-of-the-above university, for those of you all lucky enough to take a multiple choice test. As it does and will continue to do both of these, bolstered by exceptional faculty, able staff, engaged alumni, a dedicated board, amazing coaches, supportive friends, bright and motivated, and really, really good-looking students. I got to tell you, you're a good-looking group out there. Just as importantly, members of the RMU community have demonstrated a willingness to innovate in a manner rarely seen in higher education. You don't necessarily come to higher education because you want things to go super fast, but you know what? We are in Moon, and this is a bit of a rocket ship, and I feel like we're kind of in a rocket ship, so I guess it's very appropriate. So again, I am both honored and I'm humbled by the opportunity to serve as the 8th president. To paraphrase Steve in the front row, my new friend on the Board of Trustees, that this is a university with many, many PhDs. And I don't mean philosophy doctors. I mean this is a university marked by people that are proud, hungry, and driven. This is a university that's marked by people that are proud, hungry, and driven. And I am proud to be the next PhD at RMU. Go Colonials. Thank you.
Can we get an amen? Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, President Chris Howard and Barbara Howard, one more time, welcome. Thanks to all of you for taking time to be part of the mixer this afternoon. And President Howard and the First Lady will be available to mingle with the crowd till about 5:30. We've got a lot of media interested in this event, and there will be some interviews taking place. But we have till about 5:30. So take a moment, if you would, to greet the President and greet the First Lady. There will be an interview in the President's box upstairs that we'll be conducting. Live stream chat on Periscope. Download the app, tune in, go to rmu.edu presidential search for details if you don't know how to do it, which would include me. So, wonderful moment today and a wonderful day for this campus community. We'll be working closely with Dr. Howard in the months between now and when he officially joins us in February, and we're going to make this a tremendous success. Once again, thanks to all of you, but most of all, thanks to you for accepting this challenge.